Yo, what is up? Probably should mute my own stream on stream. What's up, friends? What's up? We're gonna be coding today. Just gonna post a little message on Instagram. Wait, I guess the landscape doesn't really work. Maybe I'll get the cats in there. Just setting everything up. All right. Oh, we lost Zelda. She does not like it when Zoe comes to hang out. She's like, yeah, and then Zoe's like, okay, well, I guess I'll leave too. All right, so there's some things that we have to do. Color configuration. I've been working my game off of this. It's like this 5 color config system that, well, to be honest, it doesn't really work too well at this point in the game. Gotta hook up my pedal for on-demand mute. There we go. So when my allergies start destroying me, I can mute it. All right. So we're gonna do some things. Okay, so let's see. Before I get into that, I do have some extra things that I need to check in. And that was these walls here. So apparently the guy who did the 3D modeling for my walls, he had exported it kind of wonky and sent me what it was really supposed to look like, which is this, which is way cooler than it was before. where before it just had like these Play-Doh mushy type tops to them. So we're gonna he didn't give me he's still working on getting me those exports. I don't think he's got me those exports yet. Let's see. Nope, not yet. But oh yeah, so I guess there isn't anything for me to check in then. We're just gonna delete these then. Let's see what I've got going on here. Man, I've got a bunch of sound effect stuff. I gotta clean this out eventually. All right, so let's dive right in now. So normally I have this order color palette where everything's broken down into these colors here for biome, and so everything's assigned a category like environment primary, environment secondary, environment tertiary, environment quaternary. I just kept going more and more as I needed more variety in the colors, and to be completely honest, it's just not something that works in the long run, you know. Really what it was causing was a lot of these colors to just be all on one color palette, which, you know, it looks pretty, but at the same time, I think I'm at the point now where I need more visual complexity. There we go. And so, you know, there's some different shades of hues here, because actually there's some things like the grass that now has colored textures, and because otherwise everything in here is grayscale, and we've been slowly converting it over to color. And so a lot of what you actually see on the screen actually I think has been converted over. Like these rocks haven't, and the flowers haven't, and the orbs haven't, and the trees haven't, but actually everything else so far has. And that was something I had my artist do recently just in order to start that transition. But what I was finding is as we were converting over to the colors, I didn't really know nothing really came out to be the color I was hoping it would be, and it's not really coming together the right way. And I think that's just because I was very limited on the colors beforehand, and he's trying to give some more variety, but everything is just kind of disjointed right now, where I need to have better control over designing these biomes, specifically the color palette for them. And one thing about the game is biomes have sort of taken colors hostage, where a color only really has biome implications and it doesn't have functional implications. And, you know, that's a problem because we want to be able to have traps stick out. We want to be able to have collectibles stick out, hazard, you know, all those kind of things stick out from the environment in a way that the moment you see them, you recognize that's a good thing, that's a bad thing, that's something I need to collect, that's something I need to avoid. So just really refining the game design for everything to feel really good. And so that's what this will be working towards. So these scripts I'm making today, you know, will they be in the game in the long run? Probably not to the effect that they will be right now, because it's mostly a tool for helping design these biomes. So one thing I want to make sure I do is create a script that's easily converts to easily configures itself to what the configuration was previously. Then we tweak it from there, because we don't have to go through this color palette here and then copy these colors over and over and over and over again to these new configs. So there is a little bit of backwards compatibility we're gonna have to code into, like, a utility for that, you know, one-time use, but honestly it'll save us more time in the long run. So that's really what we're going to be working on today, and you know, we'll see how fast how far we get with that. Hold up, my buddy's streaming right now too. Wanted to lurk his channel. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So, where to even begin? Well, there's a couple different types of objects on the screen that have their own types of color utility. And one, we need to tackle each type of those at a time. And two, I would really like it if all of them had, can you just use this one script? And I think that should be fine, but I mean, this is going to be a really large coding refactor. And so I really don't even know how long it's going to take. I don't think this is something I'm going to get around to doing entirely tonight, but we'll see. We'll see how far we get. I also recently switched, I updated. I'm on Unity 6.2 now. And that's just because I heard they had some really interesting helper AI in the Unity editor. Hi Zelda. Hello. Come to say hi. Zelda says hello. What a good, oh, she hears something suspicious. That was Zoe, she just ran by. Oh, nope, she still wants my attention. What a good kitty. I need to update my stream layout. I started to do that the other day, and I brought in some videos of the game. I want to make half of that like my chat. I gotta figure out how to do that. Also, let's see where I am with wish lists. We are at 441 now. We went up a few. We actually went up more than that, and then there's just like there's always the slow trickle of people deleting wish lists, which it's funny because it's like at that convention I was at, a ton of people, there was like this incentive thing, this stamp program where people liked all the games at the convention. They or wish listed, they got like entered in a raffle. But what I was noticing is that it was causing a lot of people to, some people to actually unwish list. Not a ton, but like I think I got, you know, probably 200 wish, or no, I got 135 wish lists. Yeah, so I probably lost like 10 of those in the end. Where is the wish list? Here we go. Zoe is doing some craziness in the other room right now. She is playing with an empty cat food container. Okay, I'm just updating the stream and everything here. Okay. All right. Let's see what's going on. What are we gonna do? What are we doing? All right, so we're talking about updating the colors here, and we want a new script. We want to do this one object type at a time, and I don't mean like specifically object type, but like there's like environment props, then there's like characters, and I think that's really it. No, I think that the tile maps, that's another one. We basically want to get rid of using this whole config here. Actually, the tile map's actually one of the things that can stay that way, because there are just a set number of tile maps layers per biome, and that's all set up. So the reason we're doing this is because you know, I only have 4 different types of colors for each one of those like types that I was just referencing. So environment, primary, secondary, tertiary, character, primary, secondary, tertiary, and then the tile maps, right? Well, it's those environments and the character ones that we want to get rid of, because those tend to be spine objects that have way more than 3 or 4 layers to them. They have a lot of different layers to them, and there's a lot of different objects in between there. There's the grass, there's the fungus there's the trees, and all of those are stuck in that environment. So it's like, not only is there more than 4 layers on each of those, but like they all share the same colors, and it looks nice in the beginning, but like now it's like we really want to like start branching out, you know? And for tile maps, it's always just going to be those layers and that set for each biome. It's not like there's different categories of items within each of those, so. All right. Let's see. How do I? Oh, there we go. Zoe is going crazy right now. Hello, Zoe. Whoop, there she goes. She's being a wild one right now. Let's see. Can I pop out chat? Okay. Oh. Just gonna set up and just trying some different configurations today. I wish I knew how to clear my activity feed on Twitch, or if that's even something that can be done. I don't think so. Yeah, you can do that, man. Too crazy. What's up? How you doing? Welcome to the sure. Zelda says hello too. How you doing? How you doing? We're just about to start coding some stuff up. No, Zelda, I know. If my cat will let me use my left arm, but she is demanding of attention. All right, so what we want to do, I think we're gonna start with let's start with environment props. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do first. Yeah, I'm working on this game called Heredity. I am a solo dev, though I do hire out work here and there, but day to day it's just me making this game by myself for the last 4 years. I've made a lot of progress, but I also have a lot more to go, and I'm kind of just making it on stream since it's a long process, and you know, I don't have any publisher, no publisher, no funding, just a day job, and so I work my evenings on this game, and just making the game I've always wanted to make is all just me and Zelda here. Okay, so let's actually just look at one of these props here and let's see where how do I get paid? That's a great question. I don't. I don't get paid at all, not for my game. I mean, I have a Patreon where, you know, people are able to throw me a few dollars if they want to. And that like gives them access to playing the game on my Discord, you know, the state of the game right now, which is still very early on. And it's pretty much what you can see in the little top left-hand corner. Just like, you know, little combat, you know, free roam. But I'm currently working on more of like a story campaign for it now and just trying to get deeper in it. But yeah, no money. I have a day job and I live off my day job and I fund the game with my day job, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I would love to be paid, but you know, game development, it's just the thing I haven't figured out yet. But it's kind of hard to make money when you don't have a product yet. And okay, so there should be, here we go. So there's this script here called prop scale anim appearance, and that's what does our colors right now. So this is really what we're gonna want to mimic. Let's close all other tabs. And here you can see where we're grabbing colors. So we're actually getting the colors from the Bloodfluence manager, which is kind of like the manager that dictates the properties of a biome. And actually C#, but Java and C# are very similar languages. Actually, I do know Java. Java was one of the first languages I used in college, so I'm pretty familiar with that, but it's been a long time. Actually made a native Android app like 10 years ago, and that was all Java. Yeah, it's been a little while, but yeah, C#, basically, they're very similar. It's just Microsoft's version of Java, pretty much. All right. So if we go to the base class, okay, so we have this class called Appearance Handler, and this is like kind of like a base class that I have for every script that influences some sort of appearance or visual component of any object on screen, and that has two functions that we always implement. It's randomize and configure. I have to make a game from scratch since can't use engines. Oh, interesting. What are your what's giving you those constraints? Are you in school, or are you yeah, what are you making a game for? Old PC. That's interesting. What language are you using for it? Let's also actually open up the config that I had here, Hoarder color palette. We're actually going to want to make something that's similar to this almost. Can't even load up Fortnite unless it's on GeForce because old graphics card and stuff. Oh, okay, so it's really just that you have like hardware constraints and your are you just learning game dev now, or are you just you know, what's your background in that with it and for game dev? Are you just starting out? You've been doing it for a while. Okay. So we know that every object type is going to need one of these color config files. And that color config file is going to be keying off colors based on the spine slots for the spine skeleton animation object. So I think the first thing we want to do is make that spine color config or skeleton animation color config. I'm all self-taught. I'm highly new. Just been at that monitor's all screwed up. It's been caught up in learning programming language loophole. Nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm all self-taught with game development as well, but I do have a educational background and career background in coding. So I went to school for software engineering, and I have a bachelor's in that, and I've been a software engineer for about 10 years now, and I've been probably actually more like 11 or 12 years. What years? Oh my gosh, it's been 12 years been a software engineer. But I've been doing game dev for about 5 years now, and I've been working on this game for about 4 years. And I've just been learning as I go. And you know, they say not to spend all your life on your first game, but you know, I just kind of did it anyways. But I'm happy with what I'm making, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. That's all that really matters, right? Okay. So let's see, where would these scripts go? I think it's gonna go into script spine. Utility. I think this is where, yeah, utility. Other. Yeah, I'm a programmer for my job. I mean, it's kind of like when it comes to software engineering, I'm more on the engineer side of that than the software side of that, just because when it comes to like any kind of engineering field, and it really depends on, you know, job to job, but like for instance, my job, I do a lot of like, I do kind of everything. Like I write requirements, I do the code sometimes, I do the design documents, I have to do verification, unit test, and you know, there's like so much other, and then it's just like the, you know, I feel like it's so much different than what I do at home here, where I'm just really just in code all the time. And my job, it's like a lot of paperwork. So it's not the most fun time, but you know, it's a job, and it pays, you know, it pays. And you know, I'm grateful to have something that allows me to, you know, live comfortably while, you know, trying to work on my game on the side, and you know, able to pursue my passion on my own time. So okay, yeah, I think we're gonna do it here, and we're gonna call this, hopefully I don't have a class name this already, but skeleton animation, actually maybe just scale anim color config. Does that exist? I feel like it probably exists. No, it's not complaining. All right, and this one's going to be a, it's not going to be a class, it's going to be a scriptable object, because this is just going to be or no, it is a class, I'm sorry, it's inheriting scriptable object. There we go. Now, I know there is a, where did you learn C#? Well, I think I didn't really, I self-taught C, I was self-taught C# in Unity as I used Unity, but to be honest, like I mentioned earlier, I learned Java. I learned C++ and Java in high school and in college. And then for my day job, I've been using C++ and C pretty much the entire time. I did some Java stuff at work just because it was a language I was familiar with, but I think by the time I dove into Unity, I pretty much knew it was easy to go to C#, so it's so similar to Java. It really is. It's like there's an equivalent everything, you know what I mean? And you know how they use, like, you know, garbage collection is similar, and you know, like there's all the different concepts. It's basically a language that's really, I feel like, was designed to be like, you know, Microsoft Java. So it wasn't too bad picking that up. And I feel like once you have a like a really good grasp of like a few programming languages, they all start to kind of make sense. And then it really just comes down to learning the syntactical differences, because what all boils down, you know, coding is coding at the end of the day for almost any language, where it's like, you know, logically, you know what you have to do, and then it's just like, okay, well, how do I write the thing that I have to do in the language? And I feel like as you learn more languages, it gets easier as you go. Okay, I need the header for this class. Oh, there we go. And this is going to allow us to find the script in the editor. We're going to call this spine utility. Maybe I want to like make another folder and call it like color or something. Hey, Too Crazy, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot.
Just followed.
Oh yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are my 102nd follower. I appreciate that. All right. It's gonna move this into a color folder, because I don't know. Yeah, we are gonna have a couple different color type files, so that'll be a good place to draw the line. Actually, we'll even make that the name. No, we'll just make it the spine namespace. Okay, and then here we'll create that. Okay. So, man, how do we? Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, I stream. I usually stream a couple times a week. Hey, Cody, what's up? Hey, Shadow. Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, Mona. Awesome. Thank you very much. Another follow. I appreciate it. You are my 103rd follower. Yo, Cody, what's up? How was stream? I saw you were streaming. I popped in a little bit. How's the game going? I'm doing good today. I'm doing good. I'm finally getting back into the swing of it a little bit. I have just been, I don't know. I'm still recovering from the convention and preparing for my next one, and trying to figure out where I'm taking my game from now, and been doing like a lot of design work. I think I got to a point where I was like, I really need to just completely like create like a complete design document for my game, like the final everything, you know. I never did that. I have like aspects and I have pages and I've got notebooks and stuff, but I've never really like wrote like a wiki for myself. So I've been doing a lot of writing and boring stuff the last week, but it's all for good stuff. So today we're doing a little bit of coding for the stream, doing color configuration stuff. Yeah, I was in your stream the other day, and you were talking to someone, but it was like this. It wasn't your game. It was another game. It was like on a beach, and there were like pirates and stuff. And yeah, I would have said something, but I don't want to derail the chat with my English. So But yeah, but no, I definitely, I still lurk you from time to, I lurk you here and there. I just, like I said, I don't want to clutter the chat too much with the English. Yeah. I mean the design stuff. I always took the stance with my game of like, I'm just gonna follow the fun, right? And follow what feels good. And I never really, you know what I mean? Like figure out as I go. And honestly, that was like a great plan for me for the last, few years that I've been working on the game. But now it's just like, I feel like there's nowhere, like I've hit the point where it's like, all right, I need to like really figure out the identity of this game and all of the mechanics and everything. If I, like, I'm just at that point now. So new phase. Oh yeah, it was a viewer game, really good one. Yeah, no, that the game looked pretty rad. It was just someone that was watching you just showing off their game or something. Okay, so what do we want to do here? I made a mind map that brings together a lot of things about a GDD in game creation, but unfortunately it's in French. But if you want to take a look, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. I really got to learn French one of these days, guys. The Bible of making a game. Wow. Yeah, I don't understand a word of this. But this is cool. I do have the I mean, it's funny because I feel like it's easier than ever to kind of get through like a language barrier, right? Like where too crazy in chat. Bonjour. Yeah, I do know that word. But it's easier than ever to get past like language barriers because honestly, I can use this because I know like with just your phone these days, they have like the camera translator. You just point it at something and in place it will like translate. It'll like right over the word. Because I actually have been learning Japanese for about a year now. I've taken the last month off just because I was like so swamped with my game convention that I just did, but that helped me a lot because it's like I'll like have manga or something in Japanese and I'll like try to help me to learn, and if I'm stuck on something I just point my camera at it and it just shows me. Ask ChatGPT. That also works. Actually, ChatGPT is like one of my favorite tools for learning Japanese because there's so much nuance in a language that you don't get really from a textbook. Like there's so many like, well, what like why is this word this way in this context but in this other way in another context, right? And like so the like being able to have like just a chat bot to like ask these questions to has been like amazing. And it's funny because before now I never really saw like the reason to like learning another language, but then I think I just started doing it for the hell of it, and I started having a lot of fun doing it. And it's interesting. I mean, obviously, like you guys know more than one language, at least French and English. And I don't know, like, if what it's like out there for English, if it's just something that you learn casually growing up, or if you had to like actually put much effort into it. But for me, it's like I know Spanish a little bit. Like I think I took 4 years of it in school, but I really wasn't that I didn't retain much of it because it's like one of those things, if you don't use it, you're gonna forget, right? But all I do all day is I just do game dev, and it's like when I go and I switch gears to Japanese, I feel like I'm using like this other side of my brain that I don't normally use. Like I can like feel fatigued like doing game dev stuff, but I can go and switch gears to learning a language and I don't feel like that brain fatigue. I feel like it's just like another part of your brain that you can exercise and kind of gives you like a little bit of a balance, at least for me anyways. Let's see, Cody, almost every tutorial in English, so we have no choice. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, sorry about that. We kind of just if you translate your game into French and you use ChatGPT, if you want, we can check if everything is correct. Honestly, I I appreciate that. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's true. You know, I've thought about that, you know, like it is interesting how like English has like become that the one language that all the I don't know, but there's also so much good content out there in other languages as well. Like that's like a big reason I'm learning Japanese is just because you know, I just kind of want to be able to peek into the culture and into the entertainment and the content and the like just all that. Just like so much just information and culture. I don't know. I wish that like I honestly wish that I can kind of just like snap into like another country's culture for like a month and just live it because it just I don't know, it's very fascinating to me. But this is really rad. I'm gonna save this off. Thank you for sending me this. Yeah, what I've been doing so far is I've been using this app called Nuclino. Nuclino, yeah. And let's see, it's like a wiki. And there was some things I was doing. What was I recently doing? Zones. Oh yeah, so like I'm basically making this internal wiki. It's like a wiki game design, I guess. You can't imagine the pain of watching a tutorial in another language when the creator have an accent from like India or Asia. Difficulty extreme. Oh my gosh, yo, you're right. Because like I feel that pain in my first language is English. So yeah, oh my gosh, that's got to be awful. Yeah, you gotta really rely on the subtitles for that one. Yeah, but yeah, what I've been doing here is just creating a wiki for my own game. So like for instance zones, and it's just like I break down like what kind of zones do I have, like how are they technically made, and you know like dimensions, like the technical specs of them, and we have passages and zone composition, like the tile maps and the props and the barriers, you know, the things that surround it, and biomes. And then like you can kind of drill down into here where we have like passages and you know, like what do passages do? You know, they're the means to go from one zone to another zone, and you know how they can close and open, and you know when you enter a zone it might be closed, and here are the things that you got to do. You know, to open a passage you might have to defeat all the enemies, or you might have to complete a scripted event, or you might have to destroy something, or you might have to solve a puzzle, right? So all of these things I'm kind of just starting from a really like high level, all these ideas that I've had in my head for a while that are like either implemented or partially implemented or not implemented yet, and just continue to drill down in. And I think that's honestly, I'm going to be spending the next couple months just doing that, because I think it's just, I'm at that phase in the game where I'm kind of like stun locked a little bit on where to go forward, because I have this really cool demo that I feel proud of, but it's like kind of like the representation of what I want the game to be. And I know it sounds silly to say, but I feel like after all these years, I'm only now just creating the, I feel like now I have my prototype, right? But like, my second prototype, my first prototype took 2 weeks. My second prototype took 4 years. Oh man. Yeah, I understand English, but with an accent, it's very hard for me to understand. Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. But yeah, thanks for coming by. Thanks for the raid. You guys are awesome. You guys are really rad. But yeah, I think that it's important to write everything. Yeah, absolutely. I think it, and after a certain point too, it's just too much to like keep in your head. Um, it's just too much. I think I've finally crossed the barrier from like passion project fun to like, all right, this needs to be a real product. And I'm actually kind of fortunate because I've spent 12 years as a software engineer. So I feel like I have a lot of experience and know-how when it comes to formal projects and productizing software. That's going to really come in handy for me moving forward. It's just, you know, no one really likes to do paperwork. And I feel like as an engineer, I do more paperwork than I do software. But yep, it's just the next step. It's exciting though. I've waited a long time to get to this point. Yeah. Yeah, we're working on color configs today. I was saying earlier how in my game I have like everything's off of like this color config right here, where everything in the game is grayscale and each one of these is biomes. And so all the things in the environment have like 4 colors that they pull from, and then they color themselves to, and then the characters also have 4 different colors, and then the tile maps have their own set of colors, and that's it. And it's just like, that's carried me for so long. Like, it's been a great system to help like prototype the game, but really what's happening is I'm really boxing myself in. And I'm really boxing myself in when it comes to the visuals of with the visuals of the game. So and that's what's contributing to this gameplay readability issue. And I don't even think it's that big of an issue, but it definitely can be better. And like my artist, because I do have an artist, he like kind of sent me an image the other day, like that was pointing out, basically just saying like I should try to play with, you know, some different hues and such. What are my unique selling points? Oh man, so I don't really, I don't have anything that I've ever like really written down being like, this is it, but I have like my pitch, and my pitch has always been, trying to take, games like Hades and The Binding of Isaac that have, good, solid combat and ability synergies, and then bridging the gap between more casual games like Vampire Survivors, and being able to create this halfway point to make like a more casual roguelike, where you don't have to focus too much on the game. It's more about getting into the groove and feeling out the vibe. And that's why I'm leaning heavy into certain, hey, Dim, thank you very much for the follow. I really appreciate that. But yeah, so that it, and so that leads me into some other things that I feel like, make my game, more unique to some other games in the genre, where everything in the game is synced to the music, and that is to contribute to that like vibe, like you just want to be able to play the game and feel the music, and where all the different sound effects contribute to this dynamic rhythmic soundscape. You end up like creating something that just feels good, right? And you didn't have to really think about it. It just happens, right? So, that's one of my hooks, right? And And so it's not really anything that's like groundbreaking. It's more of just it's more of, actually, hold on. Okay, I just want to make sure the sound was all right. Yeah, it's more, yeah, it's nothing like, there's not really any features that I would say that are like completely 100% unique or groundbreaking in my game, but it's a mix of things that I feel like I haven't really seen before, and I really want in a game, because so many times at the end of the day, I'm like, man, I just really want to like I'm exhausted. I just want to shut my mind off and I want to play something. But you know, games like Vampire Survivors, while they're really fun, I love that game, right? That's a great game. There's still like more to be desired, right? Where I just wanted to like kill and have it feel good. And so I'm kind of just chasing really what to me is the game I've always wanted to play, and something that I feel is like fun. So I've started like working on the sound effects actually the last couple weeks, because one thing that I felt like is I never really like popped out, you know, this soundscape that I want to create isn't really coming out the way I want it to yet. It's there, but it's not like it's not dense enough to be like the dynamic rhythm that I want it to be. And so you know, let me get rid of these characters here, these enemies, where it's just like, you know, before it was just the attacks, right? So like, you know, you have like the 16th notes, and now I'm like starting to make it so like, well, if you hit something, there's another sound effect. And you know, there's other things like I have like these traps. I'll just like put a few down. If I can find it. Yeah, this one's a good one. So this one's like kind of like a okay. So like, you know, like here's like these slime piles here, and when you step on them, they like kind of slow down. They slow you down. But also like when you shoot over them, so that's like where I'm trying to get to, where I'll turn up the volume a little bit in case you can't hear it. So like, that's really where I'm trying to get to it. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to like bridge this gap between all these different like small ideas that I think will come together to make something that just like really feels good. Yeah, I like the whole, you know, I'm big on the whole concept of like the blood and exploding things and just all the gore and the death. Always been, you know, something. By the way, all the sound effects you're hearing, they're all just like kind of placeholders right now. That's one thing I'm not a Foley artist at all. So I am starting to, I have a musician, and he's going to help me out with creating some sound effects that are going to help create this soundscape that I'm looking for. And there's like a couple things I've already learned where, like, you know, like in order to be rhythmic, the sound effects have to be very like short and sweet, right? And when they get past a certain point, they can't really be, you know, like if they're too long, then they have to be more it's more about them being in tune with the music rather than on beat with the music, right? So that's the other aspect that I'm gonna start to get into as well, where there'll be certain things like sucking up blood, which will have like maybe a steady sound effect as it's happening that's going to be more in tune with everything. You ever heard of Rosa Matrix? It's a tool that allows you to make decisions about your game features, what's important and what isn't, and translate it for you. Oh, cool. With a good effect, you can change the pitch depending on the upgrade of the weapon or something. Yeah, so right now, actually, with the upgrades of the weapons, because, actually, one thing that I didn't even like tell you, like one of the biggest hooks of my game, but it's because it doesn't really, again, doesn't really come out into the game, the demo. But real quick, Shadow, thank you for that that reference. I'm gonna check this out for sure. I'm gonna open this up and keep it off to the side. Interesting. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Now I'm gonna check this out. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, because I definitely am, you know, getting into all this stuff now. You can click on the elements. Yeah. These got absolutely essential key element, secondary element. Yeah, that's a good approach to take to it. I'm gonna think about all this stuff later, for sure. The good effect, you can change the pitch. Okay, so here's actually how I'm doing the weapon upgrades now. I took away I used to have a UI for it, but since I have to like recreate all the UI, it's not on the screen anymore. I'm changing things, right? But so it's more about the beat interval, right? So this is like fourth notes right here. And then as you suck up the blood, your weapon will upgrade. And now we're on triplet fourths. Right? And then if I suck up the rest, maybe there's not enough. Not enough blood. But it would go to the next one. And so that's like kind of how I'm gonna do the game, is like as weapons upgrade, they go up like to another beat interval. And oh yeah, I was gonna also show my other hook, which is, let me get in there, is the limb swapping. So you know, I can change the limbs of my characters to be different characters, and these are all the characters that you'll come across in the game, and they'll be like your enemies, right? And so as you kill these other characters, you collect their limbs, and these limbs have different abilities, you know, different stats, different ways that you can synergize each of them together to create your own kind of unique, your own unique play style. So, you know, here's, you know, there's the, you know, different slash attacks. This is a punch attack. There's the lasers. This is a fireball attack. And then, you know, here's the different torsos and different legs. And some of them fly. And yeah, so like you kind of just create your own just monster, and like all the colors adapt as well. So like that fireball was red before, well now he's of a different blood type for his torso, which dictates everything else. There's like a couple. Yeah, this is a big boy here. And this system was actually interesting because it was actually really difficult to get this system of where I basically had to have on every limb like a point of connection, and each point of connection actually has like a scale, and then the torso has the inverse scale where it's weird. Like I have one character that's like where everything's relative off of, and then for that limb it's either larger or smaller than that like base point. Yeah, there's like some math involved with it, but it definitely took me a long time to like really like figure it all out so that I could swap pretty much all of these limbs and have them look, you know, somewhat properly for the different limb, for, you know, different configurations. Yeah, it's like, you know, this is a big torso, and then like when I go down, all the other limbs change colors to that new torso and then change their proportions to fit that one as well. So I think that's another like really interesting you know, selling point of my game. You know, I hope it to be like this really cool dynamic thing that as you get further in the game, you also battle a lot of different variations of enemies as well, because they're also going to have this power to swap limbs, and yeah, just trying to create like an interesting dynamic combat. Yeah, and the other thing is like the whole concept of you guys might have seen this in my other stream where an enemy dies, their chunks fall on the ground, and if you don't pick them up, oh, I just sucked them up real fast. So basically, if you don't pick them up, they'll come back to life, and so it adds like another interesting aspect of working the map while you're in combat. So it's not about just killing things, but it's also killing things and avoiding other things and trying to pick up those chunks to prevent them from respawning. And then the blood drops on the ground, and that's what heals you, but you can't attack when you're healing, and the overheals will level you up. So there is also this like risk reward aspect to it too. Variety is clearly a USP of your game. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm going for. I'm really influenced by The Binding of Isaac, honestly. Like that's one of my favorite games ever. I thought it will only be a change color, but different styles of characters. Really cool. Yeah, no. The color style. Yeah, the visuals. You know, that is something that is definitely cool, but really the heart of it is the abilities. And I would like to create something, and this is something that I don't really have fleshed out too well yet. But okay, so I do have a system in place already, which is a stat and attribute system that's similar to Binding of Isaac, I think, where literally every single property about an ability, whether it's the dash, it's the shield, it's the attacks, it's the blood siphoning, every single property on that is in this system where you're able to add modifiers to it. And so any other thing can add modifiers. 1.5 advertising. Yeah. My bad, guys. Oh, yep, it is. But yeah, so basically everything in the system has these modifiers that can affect it. So that's what I believe is going to really help with fleshing out all the abilities and allowing them to have synergies where equipping one thing with another thing might actually end up changing both of them and how they normally function. So like I said, The Binding of Isaac, very similar. Actually, while this ad goes, I'm going to refill water. I'll be right back. Zelda will keep you entertained. You're back, and I am back as well. And I don't know how you do this, Cody, this the game dev streaming. I feel like, I mean, it's fun, but I feel like I just yap the whole time and I don't actually develop anything. I definitely think it's like a skill to work on for sure. Hello, Zelda. And then I got Zelda here. It's always giving me those crunchy meows in my ear for attention. Meow. Sassy meows. I'm a noob, so people help me a lot in the process. Oh wait, I missed one. Have you ever heard this story? A developer was coding a weapon for his game. He was told the weapon lacks power damage. The developer simply adds bass to the sound and enlarged the projectile sprite. He didn't change anything about the code. It's perfect. The weapon, yeah. It could just be a minor change that can make all the difference. Yeah, absolutely. I haven't heard that story, but I feel like I've already kind of experienced different things like that. Hey, Coding Craft, welcome to the chat. We're just hanging out. I was developing earlier, but now I'm just yapping away. And Zelda, you got me by the shirt. Zelda, I understand you're trying to get my attention, but the claws, they hurt. They hurt, Zelda. No, but I definitely feel that because it kind of goes back. Oh my gosh, we got double pet the cats. Oh, Sean and Cody. Yo, what's up, Sean? How you been?
Ah, so you come crawling back. Sack of shit.
Danny DeVito's demands the pet-a-cat. All right, well we got like double cat pets here, so we're just gonna pet for a little while. But no, I totally agree with that. It kind of goes back to what I was saying last week when you guys were in the chat, where especially when it comes to people who aren't game designers, right? You're gonna get people who play your game, and they might just be maybe they're just a gamer, maybe they're just maybe they're not a gamer, right? But a lot of times you're going to get feedback that's just going to be like, people are just gonna be like, I don't like that. You should do this instead. Right. And that is the whole, like, I don't like this weapon. It doesn't feel strong enough. Right. And you should up the damage. Right. But the thing is yeah, it's good to listen to the feedback. It's most important to listen to what they don't like and not necessarily how to fix it. Right. And what's important about that is the way to Zelda, you are so hairy. The distinction that you need to always keep in mind there is, it's so easy that once you hear the suggestion that comes after the I don't like this, you should do it this way. When you hear that you should do it this way, and you're like, your first instinct is like, oh, well, that's stupid. And so like you want to just throw the whole thing out, right? Because maybe you've already done the thing that they're telling you to do, and it doesn't work, or it has consequences in other aspect of the game that just won't work, that'll break something else, right? So a lot of times people's feedback on the thing that you should do instead is not right. And so it's easy to automatically just completely throw away that feedback as a whole. But what you really got to do is strip out the you should do this, and you should just still really focus on the I don't like this, I don't like that, because that's the thing. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter why you think it needs to be that way. If a player doesn't like it, they don't like it. And the reason that they don't like it, whether it's true or not, doesn't matter. You have to figure out what that real reason is. And yeah, I have stuff like I deal with that every day. Every time I show my game to someone, it's always a challenge. Like I was saying, at the convention, there was like this really, like everyone kept, like in my game, you just hold the analog stick and that's it. Like you just hold the analog stick and it auto attacks, right? And to me, it's like, oh, it's so simple. How can anyone not understand that? But people were like, they were pushing the analog stick for every attack, like just keep pushing it. And I'm just like, why are they doing this? And at first I thought it was because of the way I worded the tutorial. So in the hotel that night, I changed the wording of the tutorial. I'm like, okay, now it's super clear. There's no way that anyone's going to misunderstand this. And then the next day they just kept doing it. And I think eventually, I haven't tested this yet, but I will at my next convention. I think it's because the first attack that I introduced them to is kind of slow. So when you hold the analog stick, because you don't have that like instant, oh, it attacked once and it attacked twice and you know what I mean? Like you do it once and you think that's just it. So you let go. I think that's what it is. And who knows, maybe it's not it. And it's still some weird psychological thing that I don't understand. And, but I actually do think that is it. And it's in line with, that example you just gave, Shadow, where, the game design really presents itself through how the game feels, right? Like, as you said, the add bass to the sound, or, maybe a sway to the camera, or like a shake or something to the camera. You know what I mean? Like, what is the game, what is the game telling you through how it feels to play? And I think that's more important than anything written on the screen ever. And yeah, and not everyone really likes to consider that. I actually, sometimes I have a clear idea of what I want, but sometimes I like to know what players want too. It helps me to know if I'm in the direction of something cool or something I thought was going to be cool. Yeah, that's the other thing. A lot of times, like, you have this idea that's like, oh, this is awesome, but like there's something like fundamentally flawed about it, but you're still stuck on that. Oh, but this part is so cool. It's like, I gotta have it in there. But it's like breaking something else, right? And it's just like, and it's kind of like the mind just like wanting to ignore that other thing, because you're like, well, this part's really cool. So it's like, yeah, you really always have to kind of take a step back in your perspective and how you're seeing things, and just really see things for how they are. It's not the controller problem. Maybe it's how to teach the player to use it. Yeah. And I think that the teaching, is really done best through, honestly, I think through the player figuring it out themselves in some way. So like, for instance, I think the solution to that next is maybe having my demo so that it opens up, like the first attack that they use is a faster attack. So the moment they aim the stick, it's gonna like, a bunch of attacks go off. And then when they go down to a slower but more powerful weapon, they'll know that it auto attacks, so that maybe that confusion won't happen, right? I'm hoping that's what I'm thinking, but who knows? Maybe I'll play test it and still find that, people are confused, and I'll have to go back and think about it more. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that like, you really can't expect, like, it's great to have like text tutorials, and I have text tutorials, and that is the best, that is like the most clear way to communicate your game, the controls and all that, right? But sometimes people just don't read it. They're just going to skip right through it. And then it's like, and then they're going to not understand your game. They're going to play it wrong, and then they're going to think your game sucks. Like, that's the reality of it, right? I was playing Superland. I don't know if you guys have ever played Superland. There's a few of them. I love them. They're amazing puzzle games. I love them. Open world puzzle games. And Superland World just came out on Steam in early access, right? So like, I was thinking like, oh, early access, I'm gonna play through all this, and then I'm gonna reach out to the developer and just tell them what I thought, right? And I know the first game was like a solo dev, like kind of like myself, where I think it was like mostly him, but you know, he just had like other people helping him like on contract or you know, whatever. But now I think it's like a full hey Yami, what's up? Thank you for the raid. Yeah, we're just yapping in here today. Yo, what's up? How'd stream go? How's it all going? How's it all going? Yes, bring me all the creatures. Oh, what's up? Torelli, Foss, Karma, what's going on? Yeah, we're just talking game design. But yeah, I was just saying like so like I played Superland World and there were like certain things, right? And like I understand this as, you know, everything I was just talking about in terms of game design, where it's like there's a difference between, you know, saying, you know, what felt bad versus how you should do something instead, right? They like devs don't want to hear how you do something instead. So I was like, okay, well, there were certain things about the game that just didn't feel good, right? But I love the game, right? And you want games like that to succeed. And I wrote that, like, you know, in my review, like I was just like, hey, by the way, just so you know, I got through the whole game. It was great. I got through everything without needing to look anything up. It was like tough in certain areas, and it was but in a good, challenging way, right? And then there was like one aspect of the game that was like really confusing because there was like a mix in identity where he introduced like these like police characters in the game that when you solve a puzzle with a bug, they show up and they kind of like they give you crap for it, right? And oh, they got my shirt. They give you like they kind of say something about it, right? But like it wasn't clear to me in the beginning that that's what it was, because there's one puzzle where you're actually supposed to solve it with a bug. And so the police show up and they're just like, you solve this with this kind of bug, I guess that's okay, right? And then the puzzle after it, I also solved with like not a bug, but just like not the right way of solving it, right? Like kind of like an edge case, and I did it again, and they showed up and they're like, oh, you solved this though, like like you violated this code when you solved this. And I was just like, oh, haha, they're back. What I didn't realize is that time you weren't supposed to like solve it with the bug. Like the first time you were, and I guess it was like one sentence in it that was like, oh, like I guess I'll let it slide this time, like they said something like that. But what I didn't realize is I was supposed to solve it a different way, and the other way unlocked some other thing that I needed to solve the next one. So I got stuck for like 2 hours on this one puzzle. And I like told the dev that, and he was just like, yeah, well, you should have just read it. And I'm like, okay, yeah. He said something like super sarcastic, like, yeah, if you read it, you wouldn't have had that problem. And it's just like, well, I did read it. And I was just like, okay, cool. I still like your game, but okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's as a game developer, it can definitely be like a blow to the ego, like as like you have like that knee-jerk reaction when someone gives you feedback on your game, where like you just want to instantly be like, no, shut up, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about. But like you do always, like you should always go back and be like, okay, but like why are they complaining? Because they're probably not going to be the first person to not like something, or went really well. We were playing Phasmo. Aki died like 100 times. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have done much better. I haven't played that game in ages. I got double Zelda pets a little while ago, so that was 12 minutes ago. Zelda got 12 minutes of straight pettings. How you feeling, Zelda? You good? She hears something. She gonna run away? I've done like almost no game development tonight. I've just been yapping the whole time. Yes, thank you very much for the raid. But all right, yeah. Oh, maybe I will get some. Maybe I will do some development now. All right. So color config, need to open this up. Need to work on some visual clarity in the game. I was just talking to my artist the other day about this, how to really bring out some of the objects in my game that are supposed to have like some sort of functional meaning, right? Because the thing is with my game is the biomes really hold the colors hostage, and that all of the colors have some sort of biome implication, right? Like the blood colors, and then everything is colored that blood color, some variation of it, right? And so like that has like this functional implication for you know, the type that it is in the game. However, but that's what I mean when I say it's like kind of held hostage, because that doesn't leave room for functional implications of any other type, you know, like in games, you know, like, or anything in life, you know, green good, yellow caution, red stop, you know, and you know, that stuff is important in video games too. So I have this challenge here where I have to figure out how to maintain this biome aesthetic while also being able to create unique colors in each biome that have that functional implication. And so we were, my artist was helping me out with this the other day. I'll bring up an image. Left is how it was. So this is right now here. This is like some of the stuff he was suggesting. Some of the stuff I already got around to a little bit. But one thing he did is on the hazards, he's suggesting doing more hue tweaking. And that's what I'm going to get at today with the some of the scripting that I'm going to be doing. So like, you know, this purplish red here, that's going to be the hazard color, right? And you know, like one of the things to do is like when you squint your eyes, if like certain things pop out, that's like kind of how you want it to be. You know, he brightened up the characters, which is something I already did. Yeah, how do I have like a draw on here? Actually, hold on. If I was to print the screen. Yeah. Yeah, so like these here. Like kind of like the same thing I'm doing with loot, having like that vertical beam, but for hazards as well, and then have it be like a different color. And then each biome would have that unique color for those functional things. So for this, it would be this purplish red would be like hazard. One thing I already did is I reduced the color of the blood here, because I think that actually really it's a little too distracting, even though it's something that you want to collect. I think it can stand out from the ground like really easy without needing to be that bright, right? And the other thing is this passage here is so loud visually, right? And as he was suggesting, kind of like toning that down. And I might do that in like a permanent way, or I might do it in a dynamic way that like when combat starts, it'll actually dim itself a little bit. It's more comprehensive on the right, easier to just easier to distinct things. Yeah, exactly. No, he's great. And so like we're gonna try to have like a better back and forth, because you know, like I've said before, it's just me working on this game and me paying for everything out of pocket pretty much. So it's like when when I hire someone, it's like I've already kind of I've prototyped the art myself. I know what I want, kind of, and it's like I just need to hire someone to do that, like just make it good and give it to me back. And that's a big reason why all the stuff is like grayscale, because I don't have the money to have the back and forth of like, oh, it needs to be this color. Oh, well, you need to change it a little bit now, or like, oh, now you need to like, you know, like there's this iteration that you really need, right? And I just couldn't really afford that in the past. Honestly, I can't really afford it now, but like but it's it's something that I need to do, right? And so, and I think in the beginning it was more of like I was having a lot of art get done, so all the different biomes, all the different characters, they're all in the game right now, right? It's just they're not like exposed in the campaign in the demo yet, right? So now I'm gonna start actually getting the real art from him, and we do need to start working on a more iterative process of you know, a back and forth where he gives me something and it's like, okay, well, you know, like the hue on this, the brightness on this needs to get changed a certain way. So, and normally I do that stuff myself. Again, like just like I'll go into Photoshop and I'll just change the art myself, but I do also feel, you know, I have limits to like my artistic eye. I'm not an artist. And so even though like I've colored everything in the game to my own eye, and I think it looks pretty good, it's like I feel like I've learned a lot about color theory and colors that all look good together, but I still like there's different aspects of color theory, and being able to like point out things that are important and being able to have them pop out of like a landscape like this while not seeming like it was just tacked on, right? Because it's just like you want something to blend in with everything but also pop out as important. So that's like it's definitely a skill, right? And I mean the guy who's doing the art for this here, yeah, I think we're about the same age. So whereas I have 15 years of coding, this dude's got 15 years of art on me. And it's definitely a resource that I need to be like utilizing more, and you know, taking a step back and taking my time with like truly making things the proper way. I have to go. It's really late. Have a good one. See ya. Yo, Cody, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for the raid. Yeah, always a pleasure to chat with you, man. And I'll be lurking in your stream again sometime. Like I said, I don't usually say too much just because I don't want to pollute the French with the English, but I'm definitely there lurking. Have a good night, man. Okay. But yeah, I'm trying to see what he's done here. Yeah, where like the light sources, I'm also kind of seeing that he's darkened them up a little bit. Yeah, I think that's actually really important to do. It's funny because it's like I really love the visual landscape I've created in the base game, but it's just not as good for gameplay. And so I do want to lean more into having a little bit of like a dynamic colorscape for gameplay. You can speak English with us on Cody's stream, no problem with that. Yeah, no, I know you guys all speak English. I just yeah, no, I'll definitely say more, but yeah, I just, you know, I don't want to. I know you guys already get English shoved in your face all the time. I don't want to be the dumb American who only speaks American coming by. Howdy, guys. Oh man, I'm just gonna have to start learning French. Hey, one of my favorite games is Expedition 33. Maybe I'll just I'll go back to the original language and just play it until and play it until I know French. But yeah, These, I think I definitely need to do these beams. These are really smart. And I noticed he did the same thing with the other ones too. So we definitely got to tap into that. One thing I saw here is he kind of, interesting, where I have like the gray color here. I noticed he like made it like kind of purplish. I don't know if that was like supposed to be in line with like the purplish hazards. I'm not really sure what his thought was there. I'm not sure. But yeah, that looks about, I'm trying to like point out, oh, you know what? He also darkened up the walls a little bit. And that's probably, I feel like the walls aren't too much of a problem because they sit in the background and up a bit. So they don't really, they don't clash with like anything within the zone. But it probably is good to, I think overall, it looks like he really just turned all yellows to be orange now that I'm like kind of like taking a step back and looking. Yeah, maybe that's, and you know what, that's good too, because it's like in mine, the blood is yellow and then the environment is yellow. So that'll, and he kept the blood yellow in these ones. So that was probably his thought process on that was probably how do we keep the environment lighting stuff away from the actual like blood on the ground. And like, when I went into that in the beginning of the game, it was like, oh well, the blood fuels all life in the world, right? Like it was more of like a lore kind of thing. But it's just one of those things where it's like, the game design and the feel of the game always have to come first. And that doesn't necessarily mean that lore has to suffer or the story has to suffer. In fact, sometimes I do some wacky things because of gameplay, and it ends up having like a really interesting, unique kind of lore implication that is like, I wouldn't have thought of on its own, and I kind of run with that, and it ends up making something a little more unique and creative in the end. Because I feel like a lot of the creative things that I do with this game, a lot of times I just fall ass backwards into. And so it's always fun when that kind of stuff happens. But yeah, I think that's all the things that I really pointed out, or I think I pointed out all the things that he was trying to communicate with me. Where it's like yellow goes to orange, and orange is like this neutral environment color that really doesn't have any kind of like gameplay implication. It's just the environment. So the walls, these flowers, the ground, everything in this image right here that's orange doesn't mean anything. And then yellow is the collectibles. This pink, this more purplish red is a hazard. And this bright red on this guy and this purplish hue on these guys are enemies. Zelda, she's already in need of more attention. Already in need of more attention. She didn't get enough pets before. Or Zelda does not get enough attention during the day. Okay. All right. I've been yapping so much. Let's actually just start getting into what the heck? How many times did I open this photo up? 3 times. That's the answer. I opened it 3 times. All right. Okay. You see what I have to deal with? See what I have to deal with here? You see, that's her petting me with her claws to say, pet me. Aw. How can I say no? How can I say no? Guess I'm just getting no work done tonight. All right, Zelda. She's just wiggling around. I don't know how I get any work done ever. Okay. I'm sorry, Zelda. We have to work. I have to work. You have to take a nap or something. Aw. Okay. So we're creating a skeleton animation color config, and the heart of this script is really to configures a color to be assigned configures colors to be assigned to each slot in on a skeleton animation object. It also considers biome overrides. So basically we're gonna have this like default color that every object should be, and per each slot, so that slot in spine is just a layer, right? And so we're gonna have a unique color for every layer, and those each slot can have an override color for each biome. So we want to think about how are we going to organize this into a config file, because there's like kind of like a hierarchy of configuration here, and she's trying to get onto the desk. Zelda, why are you so demanding tonight? I think it's just when I talk, she just thinks I'm talking, like she thinks I'm talking to her, and she's like, I don't get it. You're like, you're calling me over here, you're talking to me, but you're not gonna give me attention. I don't get it. Like, what do I need to do? All right, so at the top level, it's, hey, Jep, Master Games, welcome. Hello. Welcome to the stream. We are working on my my game that I've been making mostly solo for the past 4 years. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Okay, so let's see. We need some. So I already know there's going to be a certain level of data structures that we're going to have to use here, and howdy, yeah, howdy, I love it. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, up in the corner you can see it in action, and really what I'm working on now is color configuration. So being able to have a little bit better readability in gameplay, you know, like trying to have different things come out, you know, pop out. So I'm working on a color config script right now where we're gonna drive the, oh my, Zelda, you're this shirt is hairy and ripped with holes from her claws, all because I have only been petting her for a half hour. Zelda, if I had 3 hands, then I would pet you all day long. But I need my hands for I need 2 hands for my keyboard and mouse, Zelda. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to move the tower back. Okay. All right. So let's break this down. We need a data structure to hold the color data, and that's going to be broken down into slots. So I'm trying to think So like obviously we can do this through like a dictionary where we have a key and a value. And the problem with dictionaries and scriptable objects though is that dictionaries aren't serialized by default. And so we won't be able to really store this data. Everything's gonna probably have to be through like some sort of array. Actually, let's take a look at how I did the hoarder color palette. Okay, where I created a class that had all this in it. Okay, so I think what it has to be is, see, here's the problem is like slots. I don't think slots have like an ID. I think they just go by their name, right? So, so it's like, how do we key off of a string? How do we key off this color by a slot that's identification is a string, and do it in a way that's serializable on the scriptable within a scriptable object. If so, like using plain arrays, you know, that's a little dangerous because if we go by index, I might do something in the, you know, if I insert a slot, I don't know how Spine really exports that stuff. So we might need a double, a two-dimensional array, as they call it, where we don't go off index, we just have a pair. Well, no, see, the two-dimensional array doesn't really work either because we don't need it to be two-dimensional. We just need the pairs. Is there a serialized way to create pairs? I guess it would just be the data structure. Okay, yeah, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I know what we're gonna do. We need to create a pair class. And I'm gonna break these out into different files just for organizational sake. It's always good to keep all of your classes in different files. Just like a good standard to keep. So we're gonna make this a class. Honestly, it's probably just be a struct, and we're gonna call it slot color, which I'm pretty certain already exists in my. I have a slot color config. Oh yeah, this would be slot color config, wouldn't it? Man, we already have that. Wait, actually, what is slot color config? Is it literally what? Oh, it's a big class. It's a big one. Okay, no, that's not what I. Skin. Okay, it's kind of similar. So here's what I'm doing here is skin color config. Oh, that was confusing. there I am breaking my own rule of keeping things in different different files. Oops. Skin name and categories. I'm hoping I'm thinking about this right. I should probably open up a spine file to like, because I'm trying to think, because skeleton animations also have skins where they swap out the texture. You can swap out the texture. And that's also important. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about this. Oh, my characters are so complicated. So basically, for that slot and for the skin. Okay, in the skin, okay, so the skin is kind of similar to like the biome that I was saying before, where it's like, we're going to have these overrides for these slots. And so now I'm thinking it's not really about the biome override, it's actually the skin override. And the skin override, it will also have a biome override. Oh my god, now we're into like 3 deep. This is I'm starting to wonder if see, the thing is the system as it is so limited. I need to open it up, and it is kind of a shame because I won't be using this coloring utility for ever in this game. It's really just to help me, it's like a tool just to help me really tweak the colors in the game to make them perfect before I have my artist go and like make them a little bit more you know, full color and more dynamic. So yeah, these config files are going to be really large, and that means I'm going to need to have like a really intelligent editor, and the editor will filter on the blood type, which is the biome, and then filter on the skin. Yeah, and then it will show all of the applicable slots and the color that is used to tint the texture currently in that slot. Okay, that's how we're doing it. So we have slot color config, which already exists, and it exists in what namespace? In the same namespace. Great. Okay. Thing is I'm going to be getting rid of those other classes. I'm trying to think how I can do this in a way where, because I want that to be the name. Oh man, I need something that's like not dumb. New slot color config. Just go the Nintendo route. Slot color config you. Actually, I don't even think it needs to be a config because this is just a pair. Yeah, actually, it can just be slot color. Because this is the config and it's using slot color. Okay. I've made peace. Slot color rules. Slot colors do rule. No, now this isn't going to be like the rules. It's going to be the pair. Actually, oh, pair. Yeah, pair. That's a good name for it. So yeah, your suggestion helped me get there. Even though I didn't take it, but thank you. Slot color pair. Okay, cool. That's the one. Okay, and in there we're gonna have slot name, and we're going to have the color, and we're just gonna open this up since it's just a struct. I don't think I'd really need to worry about encapsulation. Feel like it'll probably get a little messy if I'm trying to create getters and setters for like config data stuff. So especially since there's going to be an inspector that's going to like be manipulating this stuff. So you know, we're just going to have everything kind of expose itself. And so to the public naming convention, we're going with all cap camel case. I'm good at asking questions that get good answers, not necessarily related. Nice. Oh, actually, what was I gonna say? Oh wait, hold up. Okay. All right. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Anyways. Let's see. Slot color pair. Okay, I like that. All right. So now we need another struct, which is going to let's see how we can now it's gonna be, so now it's the per skin Yeah. So skin color config. I think I'm happy with that. Oh, this is a struct. Actually, I was just thinking, do you guys see that? I'm gonna blow it up a little bit. Yeah, because like conceptually, what is this? This is the this is a collection of a collection of slot color pairs per skin. Okay, so it's all the different slots. Okay, so this is truly just an array of and then the skin. Okay, I know what I'm doing. So string, skin name, and then slot color pair array color pairs. Okay. And so what this is for the skin, here are all of the slots and the color that's assigned to all of them per this skin config. Okay. And we're calling this skin slot colors. Sounds good. Now I think we're finally back up to here, which, oh, no, we're not. We're like I said, it's 3 deep. Blood. Now we're doing the blood type or the biome type, right? Skin color modifier. Yeah, that would have worked too. Yeah. Well, actually, modifier I feel like would imply the logic to do it. So we probably will use a name like that in the future. But this is just the data of it, right? This is just a data encapsulator. Okay, so now we're on to the biome, the blood, so at this point, at this level, it's the color config for, oh wait, no, I'm trying to wonder if should the blood come before the skin, because the skin, I think I did it opposite, because the skin is the thing that we assign, and the biome can be different, right? I guess it doesn't really matter, but I might no. Oh my gosh, this is too complicated for me for 9 p.m. Oh my gosh. No, I'm gonna do it the way that I'm doing it. I'm gonna name it the same thing, skeleton anim. What I'm gonna say, blood config. Yeah, I'm thinking about these too hard, but I'm also kind of a stickler for this kind of stuff. The 12 years of software engineering and is like made me like overthink these things. And so here we're gonna do recorder blood type, and we're gonna do an array of skin slot colors. Yeah. Cool. Okay, and then we just have an array of these. Blood configs. And there is a none blood color too, so that can be kind of like a default, even though the blood the blood type of blood is also default. I don't know, I probably should and then I have my 6 other biome blood types, and I do plan to add a couple more before the release of the game, I believe. We'll see. And then like the whole idea is, you know, if I can end up making a good game and people care about it, then maybe I can even add, you know, add more to the game in the future. Okay, so I believe that's our config. It allows, oh, you know what? So I was thinking about this earlier. And let's drill down. For this, like there's gonna be certain colors that I feel like, as I was saying before, some of these are just overrides, right? Like in this, my description here, configures colors to be assigned to each slot of a skeleton animation object. It also considers biome overrides, right? So there needs to be a default, and then there needs to be a, so like I feel like there needs to be a default where like these are the colors that are always used always, and then if the biome has a color override, then we use it, right? And this was harder to conceptualize than I thought it was going to be, because this is the problem where a lot of these, like, we don't want to have to configure, because like I got 6 different biome types plus a default 7, right? And then the thing is the skins are normally paired to a biome, but what happens when you take certain skins of one biome type and then add it to another biome? And then like that's when you, yeah. And I do that in the environment, like, and it's like as you're going zone to zone and another biome is getting closer, you'll actually start to see properties of that other biome like scattered in the zones. So one flower might be the color of the current biome, but it actually has the bulb and petals and the textures of this other biome. Though, yeah, I was kind of like dabbling with the idea of making it so it's actually a different color too, but I think that might end up breaking our like color rules that I was getting at before. Yeah, see, this is why, you know, doing the whole game design document and truly understanding the function of everything is really going to come in handy, right? Because it's like there's this question now, right? Am I gonna, for props that are indicating a new biome, should they be the color of the current biome or the color of the next biome? I know that their texture will be of the next biome, but should it also be the color of the current? Because if it needs to be the color of the current biome, then that means it also needs to be then we need to make the configuration like this. But if we don't end up doing that, then a lot of this might be for nothing. But I would rather have the function than not. But I would also not like to waste my time. This is why the game's taken 4 years, because I sit here and I think about these things. I think and I think and I think. I think I'm going to keep going with this concept and see where it leads me. Because I think that I think I need to go down the path of what I was saying before, where there's a default for the skin. Okay, I might need to swap this then, where, yeah, I need to swap these. Because I think the skin takes precedence over the biome, and the biome is more of just an override. Okay, we good. All right, so the slot color pair needs to be this, and then this needs to be this, and then this needs to be this, and we need to rename things here. Woo, more renaming. Okay, so slot color pair, this will be slot blood variant. Blood variant. I don't like the length of that, but slot color. I'm gonna say slot color blood variant. And then it's gonna be a collection of. Oh, maybe we don't need to make a. Does it not need to be a random? Slot color blood variant. So it's like the blood type. How is this going to work? There has to be something that contains. I feel like I'm getting to the point where I really need to like draw this out. Okay, so let's take it from the top down. It's a very bright color. Oops. Spine object. Skeleton animation. And the skeleton animation has slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, etc. Let's just say, and then it also has skin 1, skin 2, skin 3. Okay. So for each one of these skins, there's going to be a unique texture plugged into here. It's like, it's weird. And for that unique texture, we have a unique color. Why are you doing that? Okay. We have a unique color. And that's going to be true for all these skins here. And then that unique color is going to be decided by biome. Oh, no, blood. I'll say blood. Blood type. However, blood type is like this other thing, right? Which is going to plug into right? Oh, it's like losing okay. Not what I wanted. Okay. So that unique color, so that blood type may or may not affect what this unique color is. And there should be a default color for the skin. But then there might need to be a default color for the, no, there's a default color for the blood type maybe, and there might also need to be a default color for the skin too, because what if we want what if it doesn't matter what the skin is? I'm trying to think how I normally structure these skeleton animations. Yeah, there's like a lot of it's tough because there's like so many different ways that color might change in the game. You know, something might change color. There's a lot of different like implications. Let me take a look at how I was already doing this, because I feel like maybe I can take a lot from the structure that already existed. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do that before. Let's take a look at this. Go to go to a prop. Let's go to here, data. Here we go, right here, color data. Here we go. Oh, interesting. I had a grass color. Huh. Yeah, see, I kept like I was doing it all off of this like category system, and I just had to keep adding categories. I started out with 3 and then I ended up with 6 or no, 7. So, and now it's just like, you know, I need obviously even more than that. Zelda, you've made me so hairy. Your hair is everywhere. Absolutely everywhere, Zelda. Skin textures are limited, aren't they? But colors are unlimited. It's easier to match a color to the skin than the other way around. I think if I understand correctly what you're doing. Yeah, so the skins are limited, but there's multiple slots in a skin. The slots are basically the textures. Where the heck am I? Uh-oh, I got aggro. I got aggro on Zelda. I just gotta not move and pretend I'm not here, and she'll go away. Well, goofball. Yeah, no, like, so there is, so like each skin, like for here, this is like an example where there's 3 texture layers in this skeleton animation, and by the skin, you know, there's, yeah, like, yeah, let me go back to where I did this before, because actually I'll do my character one, because that was like, the character one is huge. Character data, no, source, order, source, data, generic data. Okay, here we go. Scene data. I don't even, Cosmetics. Okay, so here's where I say like each, the primary, secondary, tertiary, like here's where I assign the colors to the categories. But there's somewhere where, oh, I bet it's in resources. There's a place where I say what each slot should be. Yeah, here we, nope. Here it is. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. So this is like this kind of like what I need to make right now, but instead of there being a color category here, there just needs to be a color. So I wonder if I can actually just rip this completely as it is and have this be the thing that like, and then I was able to kind of, so what it is here is like, there's the head. So the head is the, let me snip this so you can see it. Zelda, you're gonna tear the sleeve off my shirt. All right, so like, where head is the, what the heck? It's like an arrow. Never seen it do that before. Didn't know you can do that. The head is the slot. No. These are the slots right here. And this is the skin. And this is the color. And the skin, okay, so here's why what I'm trying to do is so much more complicated, because the blood type is baked in with the skin, and I do that a lot, but it's okay, and it's allowed me to do that because these categories are generic, but I'm moving away from generic categories, which means that I can't just steal the colors of another biome from their config. I have to configure it in the, okay, so that's where this next layer comes from versus what I was already doing. It was these categories that were interchangeable between the blood type. So even if I used a skin of one blood type to be in the environment of another blood type, it would just steal the colors from the others based off of the color category, primary, secondary. I am a default value. Oh man. Yeah, okay, so that's where it's, so I can't just jack this file, which is scary because that means I need something like this file, but then for every blood type, which is, it's just too much. It's just too much. And then once I start converting it over to real art, see, that's really what it's going to get to. Like, I don't know if I think, okay, so, but no, this is important because the default value, default, that's where I'm going to be like, well, okay, so here's a, there are things that can be full color at the source art, and that'll make it just look better, right? Because the whole thing with grayscale is when you tint a grayscale piece of art, a texture, a layer, you can create really dynamic looks, but everything looks very flat because it's all one hue, and the texture might have darker areas. So there's difference. There's a variance in brightness on the texture, and there's a variation of like the saturation, all, but there's no variation on the hue. And so when you go to, and that's actually why I have different layers for a lot of these objects, not because they need to be different layers, but because I want them to be different colors. So I need to move forward in the game where I have to make this decision on certain objects. Do I want to color them between different blood types, or should this color always be this color? And when that happens, then we can actually start to reduce layers, because we can create one texture that has all the different colors, all the different hues, all in one thing, and that's just what's loaded. And I don't need to do different texture layers. I don't need to do this configuration stuff. And so in that case, this script that I'm going to make will be on those objects, but the default will just be like, don't do anything, because this is a full color source art. So I need to keep that in mind moving forward. And you know, this script might still be used for only a few things moving forward, like the grass blades. That's one of the things that I really think that I'm going to continue to lean into, with being able to color dynamically. Like for instance, you know, if this passage here led to a different biome, or it's going closer to a different biome, like the clog biome, which is the slime one. Hold up. Jeez. It's gonna, one of these days she's gonna rip the sleeve right off of my shirt. And then soon after, she's gonna rip my arm off with it. Zelda, you are relentless. She just doesn't give up. She's like, you're not using the keyboard, you're just chatting, so you can put this arm on me. All right. But there's this thing that I do where there's like there'll be different blades that are different colors, and that will indicate that there's a change in biome coming. So like green, like, you know, green blade there, green blade there. Actually, that's not the right way to do this. Let's, yeah, green. So like, what the heck? Oh, that's not a very good, still doesn't look right, but. And then you'll know that if you go through this passage, you have a greater chance of seeing a new biome. And you know what that biome is because of the color. So that's why this system is still important, even though I'm going to full color. I'm going towards full color art for most of the art in the game. There's still going to be certain objects that are going to have different color variations. Because that's the thing, these grass textures, the textures are different per the biome, but that doesn't necessarily mean then that it needs to match the color of that biome either, because they might be used as signals, like beacons of, hey, there's another biome coming up. You can use a lerp to fade between biomes. A lerp to what do you mean? To fade what between biomes? Yeah, I wish I actually took this stuff. Like, I have this stuff baked into the game right now, but I disabled it for the current demo just because it was like it's like too much to expose for, like, I wasn't exposing it right. But or else I'd just show you what I'm at. But basically, as you go zone to zone, this concentration of this green grass for the passage that's going to lead you to the green biome is going to increase. So soon you're going to have like all these blades that are mostly green, and then you're going to have the passageway. I know the screenshot, it's the passage is closed because of the shadowing, but the tile map will actually be different from here on, and it will be the other biomes tile map. Is a primary color well attached to the biome? Yeah, each biome has a primary color, and so that's like what's leading. Yeah, and that's like the theme of that biome, and so that's why we have like these small pieces of color that are going to come out in other biomes to be like, hey, come follow me through this passage and you'll get to this biome eventually. You know, you follow the concentration of the alternate color. I just have to go full screen for a second here just to see. Now she's content. She just wanted my arm to rest her head on. She just needed a little arm pillow was all. He's very content now. She is adorable. Well, the colors of the objects between the two biomes can be lerped. Distance. Oh, so I do that in a way. So I still don't know. Like I get what you're saying, how you like lerp the colors, but it's but to go okay. So like, but to go zone to zone is an actual change in Unity scene. So there's no like smooth transition because, as I said, if the next zone is that next biome, the whole tile map here is changed. So you go through this passageway, the scene fades to black, and 1 second later it fades back into the next zone, which is that next biome. So there's not really like an opportunity to like lerp the colors, but I do a kind of like a logical lerp, where it's like if there's a zone here, let me if there's a passage here, there's a passage on this side, there's a passage right, oh, you can't see anything. There's a passage up top, and there's a passage on the south side of the level. The concentration of that grass will be stronger towards the passage. So it's like, if there was grass all over here, there's more green grass the closer you get to the passage door by distance within that zone. And I suppose that you could lerp the colors, but I think that like when you start to lerp hues, you probably get some like really weird, like lerps between hues. So I'm doing the lerp between density. So I think it's the same thing that you're saying, but it's like a density lerp. Yeah. Hi Zelda, you wake up from your nap? Did my arm make a good pillow? Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had it like hooked up right now, because I mean, it's probably easy to bring it back. I think I just disabled one line in the code somewhere that I don't remember where it is, but yeah. So but no, this is a good discussion and a good thought process I'm doing here, because it's really helping me with the identity. It's like I said earlier, like what is the identity of the game? What is the mechanics of the game? What is everything? And ideally I need to go back after stream and write all this stuff down in that wiki and be like, there's two types of props. There's props that have like, it's color, and it's part of this biome, and it's always this biome. It's always this color. There is no variety, and maybe there's not even many texture layers, because it only needs to be one thing. Like once I get away from this color config stuff, I can have everything on one texture, and that's going to save a lot on performance and everything. And not only that, but well, not quite either though, because I also have like a lot of variety in my game too. So like okay, this is another, like, actually I'll show you what I mean. This one I can bring up. a lot of the layers aren't only just for coloring. Well, no, they are kind of coloring, but also being able to take them away and put them. Oh, but the yeah, I'll show you what I mean. I have this very there's certain props like trees that oh, Zelda, you never give up. You never ever give up. Never ever ever give up ever. All right, I'm gonna do something wild here. I'm gonna change the biome. All right, this looks bad because I'm mixing biomes here because there's certain hard coded things in this scene. But like here's the slime biome tree. Here's the devil tree. Here's the robot biome. Here's the lighting's not very good in this scene. Let me bring up a global light. There we go. It's a little bright. That's better. So it's like this is a good example where we have like these trees with like this fur on it, and as I shuffle, as I refresh the zone, it's gonna have like different parts of the tree are gonna have different clusters of fur, and that's kind of like what helps give a little bit more variety to the game and like dynamic, like make it a little bit more dynamic, and the whole. Everything in the scene is like that. That's too bright. But yeah. So there will still be the concept of layers because I'll still have like certain properties on something that I'll want to declutter or mix and match and shuffle around. And actually the trees are another thing where maybe like if I go to the Sinistru biome trees, these have these balls on them. Maybe one of the trees has the ball and then another, and then over here it's actually a fur patch, right? And it's like, oh, that's leading us to the Gorg biome with the fur. And so then I still have to ask, is it I think at that point we do need to keep the grayscale because there's a lot of like mixing and matching of different textures per. Now the question is do I put the now would it be would the fur be the color of the other biome that it belongs to, or would it be part of the color of this biome? And I think it honestly. See, that's the thing. See where the grass, I was saying, oh, it should be the other color. But for here, I think it should be this color because when you start having like the different colors of other biomes within this biome, they're gonna stand out more, and like they should stand out, but not so much that it's like that it starts to break the functional implications that I was getting at earlier, where certain colors need to mean something. So if you have this little prop that pops up from another biome into this biome, it might actually clash with the functional colors in that biome. And maybe we can do so maybe like grass, for instance, is the only one that violates the you should be able to have different colors for different biomes and for different skins, which sucks because if I just have one use case, it's still a use case that I need the feature for, and then 95% of the other stuff isn't going to use it. Oh man, I feel like I just yapped and yapped and yapped and yapped tonight, and I never actually coded anything. And to think that I was wondering if I was going to finish this tonight. Very funny, very, very funny, hilarious. But nah, it's about 10 p.m. here, which I know isn't very late, but I am trying to get on a better sleep schedule, so I think I'm going to cut it here, and I'll probably spend some time to write all of this down into that wiki I'm creating and start to relax for the night. And oh man, I don't know how Cody streams game dev all day. I just can't, like, because sometimes I just like to get stuff done. Sometimes I just have to like, I really just have to like, I get into like this zone where I don't, like, I can't speak, I can't think about anything else. I'm just going, you know what I mean? Thinking and finding solutions is also work. Oh no, yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, but that's the thing. It was still a very productive stream, and it's always fun to do these two and have you guys come and visit, and yeah, like it was fun that first time he came by. So I'm glad he raided again, because I'm always happy to chat with you guys. So are you like, do you mostly hang out in his stream, or do you like frequent other kind of game dev streams? I'm always kind of curious on people's like perspective, like Twitch viewers' perspective on the whole game dev community on Twitch, because I'm kind of new to the whole thing, and I mean, new. I've been doing this for like a couple of years now, but I haven't. My frequency is up by a lot, you know, and I've been super loose about it in the past, and I take breaks, and this is the first time I've like taken it like serious. So when I say I'm a new streamer, it's more of I'm trying to adhere to a schedule. I'm trying to get people to come by the stream and hang out and try to have the numbers go up. But I don't know. I was looking at the community the other day of like the whole category of game dev, and it's weird because it's like, I feel like I'm already in the midpoint, where you see a lot of people with like 1, 2, 3 viewers, 5 viewers maybe. And then there's like a bunch of people in like the 10 area. And that's where like I've been kind of lately, thanks to Cody and some other friends who've been rating me, and just people who come out, and I mean, it's super helpful when you guys do that. So I really love it, and I appreciate it. Cause I've been getting, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 new followers today. It used to be that I was lucky if I got one, you know? But the ceiling for the game dev streams are very low. If I go on Twitch and I look at the category, it's like the top stream is like 200. Which is like nuts to me. Yeah, like let's open it up right now. The biggest stream right now on Twitch for game development is 52 viewers. And right now I have 13. And like that's like crazy to me, because it's like, I mean, it's a bummer, right? Like there's like almost more people streaming game dev than there are total people watching. Cody's scope is smaller. I think that's why. And also it's been 2 months on game dev. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing with him is like I've noticed is he streams every single day, and that's great, you know. I think that's like how people like oh yeah, there's me right there. Yeah, like I'm literally like scroll, like you can see me at the, like you know, I'm not in the top, but you can see me at the top of the page, which is crazy. Yes, game developers are a small community, but every viewer and streamer is more valuable. Yeah, no, I agree with that too, because I do like being able to have these kind of discussions with people and just connect with other game developers and gamers and fans of it all. And yeah, I really enjoy this. And in fact, I feel like if I had any more viewers, it would probably even be more like it would probably be like too overwhelming. I don't know, because I've thought about that before too, because I do a lot of like social media stuff. I have a TikTok, I have an Instagram, I have a YouTube, and I put up like developer reels, and you know, just 1 minute reels, and you know, sometimes it's about like an event I have coming up or something I've been working on the game, or sometimes I just do like funny stuff just to like get the word out there. But I was like thinking about it, it's just like, man, like if like any of those things like blew up overnight, I feel like I wouldn't even want that, because I'd just be like so overwhelmed. Like I already have this problem where I spent so much time like polishing my game just because I want, like, because I've just been in my own bubble making my game, right? I'm making it how I want to make it, right? it's so easy to look at my game and be like, oh, this is a done day? This is a done game, isn't it? Like, what is it coming out in a few months? And it's like, no, game's coming out in like a year or two. I have like so much more to do. It's just me. And so like, I feel like there's like, you know, this like people come in and they see the game and, I feel like if I was just if I had like a slew of people like with all like attention on my game like right now, I would probably be very overwhelmed, like trying to like keep up with expectations of, you know, it's easy for people to come in and like see the game looks good, you know, looks like it's in a near complete state, but it's not at all. But I don't know. I'm just trying to like start up a small community now is really all it is. And of people like you and Cody and all the others that have been just like really awesome just to like chat with, and people who love the art form and have a passion for it and just hang out and chat and slowly kind of get there together, you know? But all right. I think I'm going to call it. But yeah, like I said, I really appreciate it. Every follow helps. Every view helps, and yeah, I love it. You guys have been awesome. Keep, you know, so like, yeah, keep coming by whenever you guys aren't don't have anything else interesting to watch. I'll be here when I'm here. A good counterexample is Pirates 2K, but you know, nothing more to say. Yeah, you know, that's yeah, you're gonna get me going again. I might as well just go full screen. Yeah, the funny thing, like, I don't get pirate where it's like, where did that community go, right? Because he was like, he's 2K now, but he wasn't 2K, like he was way more than 2K before, right? Like his numbers were crazy, and like, where's that community gone? Because I get that, like, I don't know, like I don't understand. I really don't understand like how he built that. I get it, but I don't know. It's just like, we're looking right here, there's 600 viewers in software and game development, but like 6 months ago, if he was live, it would have been like 10,000, you know, 6,000, because he streams games, World of Warcraft. Oh, is that really what it was? Okay, but I mean, he would, yeah, like let's take a look. Because I mean, because completely honest, like I never watched the guy. I've seen some of his YouTube videos here and there. I have. And like, I'm not trying, like, I know the dude gets a lot of hate and he is kind of cringe at times, and he really digs in his heels when really he should probably just like move on, you know, like big drama, right? The guy's got a lot of, but like, honestly, from the start, the guy always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't really like mean that in I don't even really mean that against him. I think it's just like, I don't know, like it just wasn't my style. I don't know. It just, it's kind of funny. I don't actually like to watch game dev stuff. Like going into Cody's stream's cool and all, and like the more personal stuff is cool, but like, I don't know, something about like going on YouTube and watching game dev content, it was never really like that interesting to me. And like, so like, you know, I used to watch Thomas Brush, but he's like another one where it was like, I don't know, like something about it feels inauthentic. And so like, I've been going into this game development stuff, just like wanting to like, I don't know, I want to do it as as authentically as possible. Cause I think that's the thing that always rubs me the wrong way on game devs, is sometimes I just feel like there's something I'm not being told, or like something that's like, or like, I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words. So I probably shouldn't be trying to, because I don't want to like throw shade at anyone. Right. Cause I still like both of those guys are incredibly successful, you know, I'm not going to throw shade at them, but, like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't want to hate on them, but I will say they're not really my jam. Says I worked for Blizzard for 7 years. the truth is quite different. Yeah, no, I mean, I do keep up with the drama because I do like me a little bit of internet drama every once in a while. So I have seen all of the videos. I know about all the things. I know about all the controversies. I think that a lot of them are blown out of proportion, and I think a lot of them are legitimate and just really silly for him to like have dug his heels into about 7 years experience, one game, early access for 7 years, no update. The guy is a fraud. Yeah, I mean, it definitely does. Like the more I learn about him, the more fraud it feels like, and that is a bummer. Like I you know, that's what I'll say. Like I definitely respect someone like Thomas Brush a lot more, but I also feel like when I watch Thomas Brush, there's like this like weird, I still get like a weird energy where it's like he focuses on the business side of games and the like the monetize, like it's all like it feels like it's all like I don't know how to phrase it, but it just doesn't feel like he does it for the passion. He does it as a living, right? And I guess that's to be expected because he has the courses and everything. I don't know, like maybe his passion's probably just more about like teaching others. I don't really know. Like I can't put my finger on it. Like I said, like I probably shouldn't even like be saying it. Like I don't want to throw shade, right? Because like, but it's more just like I watch it and it's like, I don't know. It's not really my type of thing. But yeah, the whole thing with Pirate is like, yeah, worse, a lot worse. And I've got like really no interest in like watching him. And yeah, now that I'm looking at this, as you said, almost nothing here is games and software. Okay, well, no, here's one. Yeah, here's one. 4 days ago, Block Game Devs, 92,000 views. How is he still pulling those kind of numbers? Is that just the total? I don't know how Twitch works. Is that like all the views throughout the whole stream? See, that's crazy. So like, this is an example of where like he was in software and game development and he was, this isn't, he's playing Hollow Knight. He's not doing game development. I've definitely had people like come into my stream before and be like, oh, finally someone who's actually doing game development. Like I have heard that when you bounce around, there's a lot of people who are just playing games with that tag. Oh, wait. Oh, I saw something. I think he's coding here. But yeah, that's pretty bad. But that's the thing. And yeah, in game development on Twitch, he never wrote a single line of code live. I don't know if that's true, right? Like, cause that's what he's doing now. He's doing like config file stuff, and like, didn't people like people were criticizing his code, just text edition? Yeah. See, I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, it's just maybe just semantics, but like, I mean, I know he does like coding type stuff every once in a while, but it seems like more of just like poking around and tweaking things. It's not like actual heavy development, right? And honestly, though, I don't know how you like. That's the thing I don't understand how Cody does, because like as my stream has been getting, you know, a little bit more popular, I go from like 2 viewers to 10 viewers, right? Either way, like what I'm getting at is when I have people in chat that I like to chat with, I like to chat with them, right? And it makes it really difficult then to like focus on the actual like heavy development. And I don't know how I could not make my game if I streamed the whole thing every day. I just couldn't do it. I would just have to like, there'd be like hours where I just wouldn't read chat, and I would just there'd be like an hour I'm just sitting here just like like I'd like just like a vegetable, like, you know, I could not do it. And so like it always made sense to me when I heard that, like, oh, he doesn't actually develop. Because it's like, yeah, how do you? But at the same time, when you're at his level of popularity on Twitch, you don't even have to talk to chat. Like, chat talks to chat, and you can just address chat every once in a while. Like, you're at like a whole other tier of like social meta, where I feel like where I am now, between the 10 and 20 viewers, I feel like there's always like someone in chat that just wants to like, you know, talk game dev. And I'm always just like, hell yeah, like let's talk game dev. Like I was about to leave a moment ago and I was just like, you're getting me started again. Cause I love to talk about this stuff, but there is still the, like, you gotta like, you know, and that's why I only stream a couple times a week. Cause all the rest of the time I'm like in it. I'm like focused. I've never streamed and I couldn't, well, when I'm coding, for example, I put on some music, but there shouldn't be any lyrics. Otherwise I'm not focused. Yeah. There's like varying levels of focus that I need for, different things. Right. So if I'm coding, yeah, I usually don't like, cause you know, the truth is like silence. If you want focus, pure silence, that's the thing. And like, there are some people that are like, there's actually been like studies done on this and I don't remember the name of it, but I do remember like looking into them a while ago where they did the study of like, does music help focus? And the truth of it is it helps it in the point of like putting you into a better mood. But what they found was if you listen to music before you studied or focused, that you'd still have that benefit for if you were to go into it and then shut it off than if you didn't listen to the music beforehand. So like you're better like, so I think the results of the study I was looking at, it was like people who were trying to focus in pure silence, people who are trying to focus in focus while listening to music. And then there was another group of people who listened to music first and then tried to focus in silence. And the way it was the people in pure silence were like always the most focused, but the people who listened to music before and then focused in silence, they had a little bit higher focus. But the people who were just pure like listening to music the whole time like didn't come close. So it's like either way, like when you're trying to like work on something, silence is truly king. Now you can multitask, but it's not going to be the same. And like, I definitely see myself sometimes like I'll have a YouTube video on or like a music on and like, I have to pause it every once in a while. Cause it's like, oh, I have to really think about this. Like literally anything can throw me off, but there are certain things that like, you know, animation or just like making scenes where I'll put on a YouTube video and I just kind of like keep it more casual just because if I was just to work in silence all day long, I'd be miserable. So there is that aspect of the mood benefits that you get from all these other distractions. It's really just like you have to find the right balance of it. And even I feel like I still do it a little bit too much. And so I gotta like work on that. But yeah. I don't know. It's it's all a balance. But I think that also the more I stream and develop, I think probably the better I'll get at it as well. I don't normally get to chat with other people who like game dev stuff, so I think I'm always like taking that opportunity when someone comes in chat, and you know, I'm always excited to talk about game development. But I think over time is like I'll probably get a little bit better about being able to have more efficient streams. I like silence when I'm on very difficult code. Yeah, exactly. I never tried listening to music before then benefiting it from the silence. I'll try it. Yeah, I mean, I actually haven't really like tried it either, but I think like I don't think it was anything inherently about music beforehand. I really just think it's like it's good to take breaks. It's good to like get up from your desk, go do something fun, but like contain it, right? So it doesn't have to be like music. Maybe you play a video game for an hour and then it's like at the end of that hour, it's like, okay, like it's time to like cut it off. And now pure silence and focus. I honestly think that's like probably the best way to do it is like when you're working, it should only be work, and rather than like trying to mix the two all day long. Cause I definitely do that where I'll mix the two all day long. And at the end of the day, I'm just like, wow, I feel like I didn't actually get that much done. Whereas if I like split the day in half and I did like just the things I wanted to do, and then I just focused, I probably would have got like way more stuff done, even though I only worked half the time, right? So I think that is probably the real proper way to do it, but I don't know. I mean, we're not machines. So it's like the same thing with sleep, where or not even sleep, but just I'll say burnout. Yeah, burnout's a good example, where it's like sometimes like I'm just feeling burned out, and like I have like this deadline, right, where I can be like, oh, I gotta get this done today. I just have to focus. And if I'm already burned out, I'll spend most of the day just staring at the computer, just like, bleh, like, and just forcing myself to do something, where if I took like a 2-hour break and did something I enjoyed, I come back feeling like a little bit more refreshed, a little less burned out. And then during that small time, it's like, and that work, and it's not even, I don't even do that on a day, like a within a day basis. I do that like long term too, where I'll grind on the game for 2 months, and then like even if I have a big deadline coming up, it's just like, no, if I take 2, 3, 4 days off, like so say I have a week left to do something, I've noticed that and I'm already feeling like completely burned out. I've noticed that if I take half the week off to just relax and reset myself, I'll get more done in those last 3-4 days of the week than I would if I didn't take that break and I just grinded the whole week out. I get more done if I take that break. And it's just like, yeah, it's all about moderation and being able to read your body, your mind, like being able to understand like what is it that I need to fix my focus and to fix my and it's not only focus, right? Like sometimes you wake up and you're like super excited, it's like the excitement to do, like, because this is like a hobby that we love, right? But there's been times, I'm sure for all of us, that we've done it not because we wanted to, but because we had to. And that's never a good feeling. And a lot of times that feeling comes out when we're just overworked, right? And just taking a break where you just relax and enjoy something else for a little while, get a little variety, you come back to it, refresh, re-energize, and like that joy comes back, yeah. El Chapo, what's up? Welcome. Yeah, we're just kind of, I'm not really, I'm on the tail end of my stream right now. We're just kind of talking game dev and I don't know. We're just we're just yapping away, talking about how I streamed game development all night and barely got anything done, but had a fun time chatting and discussing game design and just how sometimes that's worth doing. It's not always about the grind, We're yeah. Well, anyways, it is getting late for me, so I am going to call it a night. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Sorry, El Chapo, to cut you off right when you joined. But I appreciate you stopping by. And Shadow, it was great chatting with you tonight. Stop by again sometime. Very late for me too. Oh my god, yeah, that's actually late for me. It's not actually late. It's 10:15 p.m. It's actually the perfect time for me to go to bed, and that's not. I'm trying to I don't know. Basically, all I was just saying before, trying to like tap into like a healthier balance with game development and all that, and sleep is absolutely a very, very important part of all that puzzle. But as much as I would love to, yeah, I was up till 3 a.m. last night, and not because I wanted to, because it's just hard for me to shut my brain off at night. So if I stay up till like 1 a.m. working on something, I'll be up until like 4 a.m. just like laying in bed awake trying to shut my mind off. So I find that if I cut it off earlier in the night and have a couple hours of just like let my brain wind down, then I can fall asleep a little easier. Anyways, where I live, it's 5 in the morning. Oh my god, you guys are crazy. Saying that as if I haven't done that at least once in the past week myself. It's too easy. It's too easy to let it slip away. It's just like jet lagging yourself at home. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I'm trying to stick to my schedule. Tuesday, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturday. So, I'll see you guys Thursday maybe. But all right, I'm actually leaving for real this time. I was burned out on my previous job and I'm free of it, so I'm enjoying life. Oh, nice. Yeah, super important. Yeah, I get burned out from my job for sure. But yeah, no, for real this time. No, it's always a pleasure to chat. Stop by Thursday if you can. And yeah, El Chavo, I'll see you. Yeah, take care. Yeah, see you. Good night, guys. See ya.